I'm just getting warmed up here. This is going to be a very unexciting live stream. I'm just starting to do something where I'm going to turn my camera on when I begin a project or when I'm just sitting in my studio starting to work on something. And if nobody's with me, that is perfectly fine. I got my coffee. Just me and my coffee. That's all I need. Because this is being recorded, I just figure I'd start blabbing a little bit. Coffee and painting with James. I am by no means the best artist. Not even close. I am amazed at the experience and skill that's out there. I think the thing that's motivating me right now is I've been working in the design industry, marketing, design. I've been doing everything from web to branding to everything you name it, and I've been doing that for quite a long time now. And I'm tired of kind of the corporate world. It's a great place to be for a career. And I'm grateful for it. But there is something that I've been wanting to do forever, probably since I was a little kid. And that simply is, I wanted to be an artist. I didn't even know what. I didn't even know in what way. So I'm doing what I think is needed for me to make a little switch in my life and just to incorporate art into my routines and into my story, I guess you could say. And that is I'm just doing it. I'm painting, I'm challenging myself, I'm taking courses, I'm making courses, I'm writing blog things, preparing content. And more than anything, I'm just practicing. Because there is no magic. There's just practicing. I ain't gonna flip some switch and suddenly and suddenly have a skill set that's going to allow me to do this on a more full-time basis. I need to grind my way there, and so that's what I'm doing. And it's not a bad way to go, because I get to paint, and I am painting all the time. I went to art school. That was a long time ago. I do illustration stuff throughout my career, but I don't want it to just be a side thing. I want to spend a lot of time doing this kind of stuff. And so here I am, talking to myself on YouTube. I've had an odd life. This hand is going to take quite a bit of work, because I'm using a source image where there's a woman with her hands intertwined. Hands are rough on the best of days. This one is special because there's two hands. I'll just have to grind through this one a bit. I think there'll be a lot of scribbling. I tend to, there's people who sketch to perfection, and they get it exactly how they want it for when they start painting. I'm not one of those people. I get it close, and there's imperfections, and there's things that aren't right. I just get it to a point where when I start painting, I have kind of the general parts figured out where things go, and then I fix it when I paint. So I might start painting the eye and realize I don't like how that's looking or where that is. I'm going to move it over, and it's kind of like, it's like a sculptor working the clay. That's more my approach. I just massage it and massage it and massage the lines, work it out. I don't know if it's, you know what, to me it speaks of a lack of ability with a pencil. And that's totally good with me. For now, let me put it that way. It's okay for now, because I'm going to work this out. I'm going to get better. My sketching, I think, is the one area where I need the most work. But part of the reason I like putting myself on YouTube, I hate myself on camera. I really don't like being on camera. But I like putting myself out there in terms of not burying my progress behind just beautiful finished work. I think there's a lot of times where we get the idea that when we look at somebody's portfolio, it just looks like they've got it all together, because you see this beautifully finished piece of work, but you don't get to see the process. And they might have wrestled with the same way that I'm gonna for sure be wrestling with this hand. And it took them maybe hours just to fix something that was bugging them on the canvas. But you see the finished work and you're like, wow, they're so good. I wish I could paint like they do. And yeah, that might be true, but they also have to grind it out. Just kind of the way of the artist, right? Chin is looking a little bit short. Something else that I'm learning, comparison is a brutal thing. Comparison is a brutal thing here, let me switch over here. Comparison is it's a brutal thing in the sense that when we look at ourselves in relation to other people, to other artists, we hyper focus on our own flaws, and we hyper focus on the things that we don't like about our own style. Or sorry, I just got distracted with my live feed. The camera changed and I forgot that it was me that flipped the camera. Smart. I'm not smart over here. What I was saying though was, you compare yourself to other people and you're just thinking, I want to do it like they do. And you can even begin to hate your own drawing style. And I would say that's true of myself. I just started to think, oh, my style isn't as good as somebody else. And so you artificially begin trying to make yourself draw in a way that maybe you've never drawn before. There's good things to that. But I don't think it's good to give up on your own style and not refine it just for sake of trying to mirror what somebody else does. If all you are is a carbon copy of somebody else's style, then that means that you're not unique anymore. And I've seen artists that I've just looked at their work and thought, oh, I want to be just like they. Like, I want to produce work just like them, and the way that they draw faces and eyes and mouths and everything else. And the problem with that is the more I try to do that, the less, well, for one, the less, may as well switch back to some drawing while I do this. The more I realized that my style was actually my style. Like, it was burnt into me. It was baked into me. I've been doing it for a long time. And that's how I draw. And I've had many people over the years be like, oh, I can always tell your artwork. And that's actually a really good thing when somebody becomes familiar with the way that you draw. And I think the goal sometimes is not to just try to emulate what other people are doing, but like spend time refining how you draw and develop your own unique style and embrace that. It's a good thing. So I'm actually in the middle of doing that right now. Like, that's something that I'm deliberately really striving to do, is to be me. I definitely noticed when I'm kind of late to the party in terms of the online digital community. There's amazing accounts that I follow. Some of my favorites are guys like Sam Does Arts. He's probably the first one I found, and I think that was one of the ones that pulled me in because I was looking at his stuff and I'm like, oh man, like I wish I could draw as much as he does. And because I knew nothing about him. I still don't know much, but I assumed that was his job. And I was thinking, man, if I could draw as often. But then his style, of course, was extremely appealing to me. And not only him, there was numerous other concept artists, and you look at their stuff and you're just like, man, I want to do it like they do. And then I would get back into painting and I would start drawing again. And as I was doing it, I would notice there's my style again, getting in the way of doing work like these other guys. And you really do have to just embrace that. So here's my plan with my live painting. I don't have a clue if ever anyone's ever gonna stream in to the things that I'm doing when I'm doing it. I'm a lonely artist over here. I live a very quiet life, and that's another reason why I'm pushing myself out there. I'm a guy who's happy just wandering the mountains. I live in Canada. I love the outdoors. I live a very simple, quiet life. And I would love to actually begin networking, connecting with other people who are practicing their own skills, and there's a world of people out there who are amazing and cool and interesting. And I need to tap into that a little bit more. This hand is, this is going to be a project. This is going to be a project. I'm not aiming for a complete accuracy. Like, I'm not being extremely true to the source photos that I'm using, the references. I've kind of gotten out of that mindset that realism is necessary. Yeah, I can see some mistakes. Man, do I see mistakes. Going back to what I was saying, I keep distracting myself. I'm just gonna, whenever I sit down to draw in the evenings, I'll contemplate turning on the live stream, and I'm just gonna jabber away like I do. But if ever you're online, by all means, jump in, say hello. If you're into art and you want to talk about what you're working on, jump in the chat, tell me what you're working on. I'm actually spending more time on the sketch than I normally do. I normally would just abandon the sketching and get into the painting. Oh, lovely. Love when I do that. So I had this big old plan to separate the hand from the body, because then I could draw it separately, but I ended up drawing. Don't you hate that? You make a new layer to separate certain things so that you can grind out Keep them separate, and then you forget that you started a new layer, and then you keep drawing and going back to other stuff, and then you will not created a new layer. Normally this is what I do. Pop in. So, oh yeah, finish my thought. Stop jumping around, James. What I do is I do a rough-ish sketch. I throw in a background, and then I start painting over top. If you don't know my style, I am a guy who loves backlighting. So you notice in this picture there's she's kind of sitting, well, you can't see, but she's sitting in, it looks like a vehicle in my source photo. I don't know what I'm going to do here. But she's by a window. And I love windows because I love backlighting. I love dramatic lighting. That's my thing. All I do is I just hammer out kind of the rough shapes of the background, colors, tones. I don't know if I'll get into the detail very much. Might make it a street scene, kind of sitting by a window, enjoying wherever she is. But then what that means for the figure, and by the way, I'm doing this, I'm going to do this all in grayscale to start. I actually have the source file is grayscale. I'm going to stay there. And then in the end, I'm going to apply the color that I want. I'm not sure what to do with the hair. I can't even see the hair in the picture. My source, she's mostly, her head is out. I'm actually having to fill in holes myself. I love strong shadows in the foreground and Lots of backlighting. Not what I wanted. Like brushes. It's one thing I haven't figured out, how to organize brushes very well. Oops, I don't. Yeah, don't want that. I have a couple favorite brushes and I mostly just stick with them. I have a square diamond brush and I mostly just paint with that. Yeah, don't love the hand. I actually love when a hand comes out in the end, when you get the forms and the shadows right. Like, gosh, it can look really, when you hit it, you know it, because it just, you end up just staring at the hand that you did, because it's like, cool. It's pretty rewarding to nail it. Yeah, I'll keep everything pretty flat for now. I'm ending up flattening it right away. I was gonna do all the shading and looks like I'm just pushing it right back. I tend to usually just slowly progress towards contour and highlighting. Anyways, I'm gonna probably jump off here right away. I more or less wanted to just set this up, try it. Didn't figure in, I don't got any subscribers. I don't think most people know I exist yet. The goal is to change that. And what was more, I just wanted to actually do a live stream, learn a little bit about how to set it up so that I'm ready to go next time. Get a good zoom in here and see where I'm working. Probably was working too small for you guys to see. I'm not sure if I'll continue this on my own or I'll come back to finish it. It'll be my live stream progress project. Slowly build it in front of everyone. All right. I didn't even drink my coffee. It's cold. Cold coffee. If you've got a favorite person that you follow, somebody who I should check out so I can learn from them, or if you got your own account or whatever, let me know. I would love to have more people to follow. Sincerely, I would. All right, we're going to end it off here. I'm glad if you watched any of this, and if you didn't, I won't even know. So hey, we're all good. Cheers, and we'll see ya somewhere, somehow.